So you're thinking about moving to Tampa Bay, but you want a place that's actually great for families, not just somewhere that has nice weather and a great beach nearby. The good news, there are a ton of awesome cities and suburbs to choose from here in Tampa Bay. The bad news, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Trust me, I've been there too. Good schools, safe neighborhoods, parks, and things to do for the kids are what most parents are searching for. So in today's video, I'm breaking down the best cities around Tampa for families and where I'd move if I had to do it all over again today. If we've never met before, my name is Juan Alcalá. I make videos that are all things Tampa Bay, what it's like to live, work, and play here. My wife and I, Kate, along with our 3 kids, packed up and sold everything we owned and moved 1,200 miles south here to the greater Tampa Bay area 6 years ago and have been loving it ever since. It's honestly one of the best decisions we've ever made. And I'm also a licensed realtor and a team leader here with the True Living Group, where we help people just like you buy, sell, relocate, and invest all over the greater Tampa Bay area. All of my contact information is listed down below. Heck, there's even a link to my calendar down below where you can schedule a time that is most convenient for you. We'll jump on a Zoom call and really help you narrow down your focus and make sure you get into the right community the first time. Now I'm going to share with you where I'd move my family if I were moving to Tampa Bay all over again today. Now, before we get started, I do want you to know that today's list is in no particular order. A lot of these communities are amazing. That's why I'm putting them on here. There are 5 or 6 that I would move my family if we weren't beach babies. And that's the one thing I want to share with you guys. We live in Southwest Largo, right by Indian Rocks Beach, and we chose this area because we are beach babies. But what I recognize is that lifestyle is not for everyone. So today's list is based upon if we weren't going to be beach babies and we had to move to the suburbs or great cities in the surrounding Tampa Bay area, where would I move? So I wanted to start with that so you guys know where I'm coming from. Also let you know that none of the cities on this list are the city where I live. So I'm giving you my personal and my professional perspective.
That's not my bias, that's scientific fact.
Hopefully that helps you get the most out of today's video. So the first city suburb on this list is Westchase. I mean, honestly, it's basically everything you need. Why I think it could be great for families is Westchase is one of those places that you don't really need to leave unless you want to. And that's not the case for every city and suburb. I mean, where we live, we have to travel 25 minutes to Costco. You know, we have to go to Seminole to go to the movie theater. We don't necessarily have everything at our fingertips, but Westchase does. And it's a beautifully manicured master plan community, which means that it was really developed with the end in mind. It doesn't feel like a neighborhood got put here and then 30 years later a neighborhood got put here. Everything in a master plan community technically is drawn out and sketched out and approved before they ever start building. Now, of course, things change during those processes, but it's a wonderful place to check out with A-rated schools, a ton of parks. Their park's amazing. You get to walk right under the main thoroughfare. You know, they've got swimming pool and golf courses, everything you need in this community, and it just really feels like home. In the downtown area, you know, you've got condos up above and restaurants and boutiques down below. There's a dentist shop there and a lot of different things. One of my favorite coffee shops in all of Tampa Bay is there, the Blind Tiger. It's a great coffee shop, great place to go get a cup of Joe in the morning. And you know, there's just a lot of things right by. You've got Whole Foods and again Costco, and you've got Home Depot and all the shopping you could ever want. In terms of housing, you know, you've got a mix of single family home, townhomes, and newer condos as well. And like right near that downtown area, you've got condos and detached condos and townhomes and single family homes. It's such a quaint little spot to come hang out. Now, Westchase is not the cheapest place in the world, but you're paying for the lifestyle that you get in return. The average single family home that sold over the last 30 days was a 4-bedroom, 3 full baths, 2,170 square foot, and the closing price was right around $863,000. Now, can you find something for less money? The answer is absolutely. Can you spend more than that? For sure. You can spend $1.5 million in that range as well. And again, it's a wonderful community and its real estate values tend to hold up really well. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, they also have condos like we were talking about before. The average condo that sold was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 922 square feet. Now, they're bigger than that too, but this is just the last 30 days. And that sold at $478,000. So just giving you some ideas of what it actually costs to live here. Now, if we move over to the median sales price, that's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot home, and that closed right around $725,000. So just trying to give you some perspective as we look all across the board here. It's also recognized on Niche as one of the most diverse communities we have, so that's something to really check out as well. And when we talk about downsides, it can feel a little cookie cutter. The one thing I will say though, compared to the brand new subdivisions, Westchase to me feels like a much more established neighborhood. And if that's your vibe, you're really gonna love, Westchase, because it's awesome in that respect. So keep that in mind. And again, homes that are really, really nice and updated and modern, those things they sell really quick. But the homes that were built 20 or 30 years ago, which a lot of this community was, that have been untouched, those are the homes you're gonna see sit a little bit longer. So just keep an eye on that. Again, great schools, you got A-rated schools, A-rated diversity, jobs over there is incredible, and all the amenities. Westchase is just a knockout community. The second city on this list is actually the one that stole Kate and Maya's heart. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's mostly known for being a small marina town right off the Gulf of Mexico, and that is none other than Dunedin. Now here's why I think it's great for families. When we first started home shopping in the Tampa Bay area, Dunedin was one of those places that we put on our list. And we put on our list because the entertainment, the dining, the what looked to be the family feel that Dunedin offered and it was something that we wanted to check out. So when we flew in, we brought our 5-month-old with us, and we went to a park called Josiah Weaver Park. And this park is awesome. And I remember being there with our youngest, and the kids were running all over the playground, and there's these beautiful old growth oak trees there, and they had this canopy that covered the playground there, so the kids never were really in the sun. And when we walked up, there was like peacocks standing. I've never seen real peacocks that weren't in a zoo before. So to me, being from the Midwest, that was just a different approach. And you walked onto this playground here, and there was just kids everywhere. And Kate and I got to talk to the parents and ask them how they felt about the community. And this whole time, there's people walking all around the park and exercising, and the intercoastal waterway was right across, and you can see Clearwater and Honeymoon Island and Caladesi Island. It was just such a beautiful scene. And we're talking to the parents, and they told us about how much they love the community and the farmers markets and just going downtown on a Friday or Thursday night. And it's just something we fell in love with. And honestly, we wrote 2 offers in Dunedin and didn't get either one of them accepted. And that's how we ended up in Southwest Largo. Now, I think that this was for the best, but I'm here to tell you, Kate and I go to date night, and we take the kids, and we love to go to Dunedin. It's just a great place. Between the festivals, the walkable downtown, and everything it has to offer, we absolutely love it. Now, there is no beach in Dunedin. It is a marina town on the intercoastal. If you want to go to the beach, you really got to go to Clearwater Beach just to the south, but it's a wonderful community. And one of our all-time favorite restaurants is in Dunedin. It's called Casa Tina, and it is a beautiful Latin cuisine. They use fresh ingredients, man. It's one of those places you love. And if you want to go over to Honeymoon Island, you can take a car. It's a 2.5-mile trek, really. So they've got bike trails and a walking path there. You can take the car and pull out on the causeway there, and there's a little restaurant with bathrooms, and you can take the paddleboard out there. It's just one of those communities I absolutely love hanging out in. And the downtown, it just gives all those feels. And what's really cool about it is the Pinellas Trail runs right through there. When we were in the park there, you could see people cycling down the park. And if you don't know, the Pinellas Trail is over 40 miles. And once it's gonna, they're working on connecting it right now. That whole loop will be about 77 miles where you can walk, ride bikes. It's an incredible experience. You should check it out. And if you're wondering what the house is like, you got a mix of historic homes, new construction, waterfront properties, and prices start in the mid 400s. I'm using that term loosely. The average home price for a single family home is coming in it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath at 2,176 square feet. Those are closing at right around $863,000. An average condo is gonna be a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, right around 1,000 square feet. Those are closing right at around $478,000. If you wanna talk about the median single family, again, median is the middle. I hate to get in the weeds on the stats, but this is important. The median single family home that sold in Dunedin in the last 30 days was a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,051 square feet, and it sold at $725,000. So again, they started around 400, and you can spend multi-millions there. So keep that in mind. Now, is there any downside to being in Dunedin? Well, yeah, the commute to Tampa can be long for sure. It's 45 to 55 minutes when we're in season, meaning that there are a lot of tourists in the area. You know, we do have a heavy influx of people, we call them snowbirds, who come in during the winter months, and spring training just started in baseball as an example. And the Toronto Blue Jays host spring training in Dunedin at TD Park. It's a beautiful ballpark and a wonderful sports experience if you've never been to it, but that can also make the city pretty busy during time. So that's something to keep in mind. Do I think it's worth cutting out? No, I told you, we loved it. We fell in love with Dunedin, and I think it's one of those places that just has that old world charm, family feel. But again, this is about you and your family. I'm giving my personal perspective on how I feel about these areas, but you should definitely check out Dunedin if you're looking to move the family to the Tampa Bay area. Now, I really do hope you're getting a lot of value out of today. You know, it's one of the most frequently asked questions that I get from clients who schedule Zoom calls with us is, Juan, if you didn't live right by the beach, where would you move your family? And while I can't tell you what is right for you, I can just share my experience. After being here for 6 years, these are the communities that I would choose. I know I mentioned Lakewood Ranch as well. These are it. These are the places where me and my wife would consider moving because, you know, they're focused on safety and their amenities and education and those things, which I know are important to a lot of families. I don't know if they're important to you. So if you have more questions, please feel free to connect with us. Like I said, jump down below, schedule a time in my calendar. I'm happy to jump on Zoom and help you make the right decision the first time. Number 3 on this list today is what people are calling potentially the next Lakewood Ranch. And if you're not familiar with that, that's the #1 master plan community in the country for 6 straight years. That's not on today's list. I got that covered in another video series, but that is one as a bonus you probably want to add on. That is for sure. But I didn't want to pull it into this list because technically it's closer to Sarasota. So let's stay with Parrish for now. And Parrish is awesome, so I wanted to really make sure that we covered this. Now, why it's great for families, or why I believe it's great for families, you know. There is a great mix of both new and established neighborhoods. You've got top-rated schools, both charter and public, which is fantastic. Parks, access to the Manatee River. So if you're a boater, kayak, or if you like to paddle board, those types of things, fish, you can just go down to Fort Hammer Park there and really enjoy what nature has to offer. It's beautiful there. It's a super easy commute to Sarasota and a fairly easy commute to Tampa, depending on what time of day you go, so keep that in mind. It's got some great neighborhoods, and one of my personal favorite communities in all of Tampa Bay is North River Ranch. If you have not seen that community, it's awesome. Also, they're building the new lagoon community in Sea Air, which is just right down the road from North River Ranch. A lot of things to love about what's happening in Parrish, but it definitely still has some of that old Florida charm that, you know, I love. It's a little bit more laid back, may not be as busy as the other cities we've mentioned, but it offers a ton of lifestyle, so it's worth checking out. What are the houses like right now? You've got a mix of older homes, but a lot of new construction is happening here in Parrish, so keep that in mind. And you can find homes starting in the $350,000 range, which with some of the incentives that are going on is bananas. It's definitely more affordable than places like Westchase or Lakewood Ranch, like I was discussing a minute ago, but you still have all of the great amenities that those communities offer, so definitely worth checking out. Now, the average single family home selling over there right now is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,200 square feet. So you can see it's a big home. You get a lot for your money. And those are closing right at around $469,000. So again, the average price point there is significantly less than places like Westchase. So keep that in mind, in Dunedin as well. And if we talk about that median price, again, the middle of the activity, that's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,045 square foot home. And those are closing at $397,000. So again, really affordable when you look at that. If you want to buy a condo, the median is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,666 square foot. So again, you get a lot more for your buck, and those come in right around $258,000. Are there any downsides to Parrish? Of course. There's pros and cons to every single area you live in. Some of the areas are a little bit older, may need some updating. Again, but that comes with established neighborhoods. And the other thing that might be a downside to you, it's not to me, but might be to you, is it is closer in proximity to the water. Like Dunedin's a marina town, obviously that's right on it. You know, Parrish, if you look at North River Ranch, you're probably about 12 miles away from the coast, which that's a long way, y'all, just so you know. But some people want to be further. They They want to be an hour away from the beach from a drive time because they're very concerned about hurricanes and those types of things. And listen, that's a fair concern and I completely understand. But what you do get in exchange is you can be to downtown St. Petersburg in 30 minutes. You can be on St. Pete Beach in 35 minutes. You can be over to Anna Maria Island and again, Sarasota and Tampa. There's a lot to love about this. And what I would say is this is one of those communities that offers the new modern amenities, lower cost of living overall, and access to things like a decent drive to a sunset or a sunrise. So keep that in mind when you're considering these areas. Number 4 is probably my favorite area in terms of the landscape, if I had to give that as a caveat. If you want land and a peaceful lifestyle, Odessa is really one of those places that offers it. Why I think it's great for families, if you're dreaming of a quieter, more rural, but still suburban vibe with easy access to Tampa and amenities over Wesley Chapel, then Odessa is a really great place to consider. You got larger homes on bigger lots, and your kids have access to incredible schools there as well. I mean, Steinberger High School, there's a whole bunch that I could go into. We've just done a video on this, so I would check this out if I were you guys. But I loved how the communities are more established. I love when nature is running around everywhere in the neighborhood. I want to see the old growth oak trees. I want to see the different types of vegetation and landscaping, and not just the one palm tree and the 3 approved plants that you're allowed in your subdivision. And some people love that, other people don't. And again, I'm giving my personal opinion since you asked, and that's why you're here. But it's still really close to shopping, really, really nice shopping. Got great dining, again, top rated schools, focus on safety, all the reasons that someone would want to move their family to an area like that. What are the houses like? Well, you've got a nice mix of modern homes, custom builds, and even some equestrian properties out there. That's another thing that I really love. You've got the lakes out there, and then you can go and you'll see a horse farm. It's something that you just, oh man, I know I'm coming across the screen here pretty strong on this, but I really do love this community. Now, prices start around the $500,000 range, but can go up way up beyond that. We're talking multi-million dollars, so keep that in mind. The average single family home right now is selling, that's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,176 square foot, and that's closing in the $860 range. If you get down to the median on that, it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,051 square foot, and those closed around $725,000 over the last 30 days. Not a whole lot of condos to speak about, but there are some, so definitely worth checking out there. Now, are there any downsides? Well, there's gonna be less nightlife and entertainment right in your backyard, but again, that can tend to make it ideal for some people and their families, and it is a more laid-back lifestyle. Again, I would put it on the rural suburban side rather than the urban suburban side, if that makes sense. And I think maybe that'll help add a little bit of clarity, but definitely worth checking out. So make sure that you put Odessa on your list of areas that you want to visit before you make that final decision. Number 5 on this list is the fastest growing family-friendly area, and it was recognized as the #1 suburb in Florida last year, and that's none other than Wesley Chapel. Now, we've made a ton of videos about Wesley Chapel, and if you've been following us at all, you know that Stacy on my team, she lives in Wesley Chapel, her second time living in Wesley Chapel, by the way. Her family is involved in the school sports there, and it's just a great place to go. I take the family out there. I love some of the venues they have, both dining and entertainment. Their parks are incredible. And to be quite honest with you, the place has exploded in the last few years. We've moved a ton of our clients to this area. As a matter of fact, we've helped over 100 people relocate here to the Tampa Bay area in just the last 3.5 years. And let me just be frank with you, a lot of them choose Wesley Chapel. It's got massive, wonderful shopping centers. You've got Tampa Premium Outlets. You've got Costco. You've got the mall at Wiregrass, which is outdoor, which is cool. You've got the Grove and Crate, a lot of really fun options to choose from. You've got the first lagoon, which was the largest lagoon at the time, Epperson, which is a 7.5-acre man-made lagoon, very similar to Sierra, but bigger, up in Epperson there, which is just an incredible sight to see if you've never been there. You can kayak and paddleboard, you can swim, there's cabanas there you can rent, there's a swim-up tiki bar. The kids, there's slides for them to go down, there's a beach, a man-made beach there. It's unbelievable. believe them, the water's crystal clear. You gotta check it out. Now, if you wanna buy a home here, what does that look like? Well, the average single family home is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,176 square foot. In the last 30 days, they close around $860,000. Now again, that's a high number. The median sales price over here, again, the middle of the activity in the last 30 days, that came in at $725,000. But I'm here to tell you right now, we're getting clients in Wesley Chapel right now in the high 300s for new construction. So when I say these numbers, remember, it's the middle of the activity, and the lower the activity, the bigger those numbers feel. December and January aren't the busiest months in terms of real estate anywhere in this country. We're starting to get very busy again, but you can find something in that lower price range, so do keep that in mind. Now, is there any downside? Well, Wesley Chapel's growing like crazy. Last census said there was right around 65,000 people. I'm sure that it's worth closer to 80, at least it feels that way. So traffic is definitely busy there, keep that in mind. Driving from Wesley Chapel to downtown Tampa, you're gonna run into a lot of construction right now because they're redoing Malfunction Junction, which is the I-4-275 interchange, to make everybody's life easier, but it really makes traffic difficult. And during peak drive times, those rush hour commutes, it can take you 50 minutes to an hour to get to downtown Tampa. Now, this is really gonna depend on where you live in Wesley Chapel. If you live in the Southwest, you're gonna be much closer to downtown than you are if you're up in the Northeast quadrant of Wesley Chapel. So keep that in mind, because it's gonna be 45 to 50 minutes to the airport. You can make it in less for sure, but the traffic would have to be great depending on what time you go. I wanna give you the more conservative numbers. And again, if you're in the Northeast quadrant of Wesley Chapel, you're gonna be 50 minutes to an hour and 10 minutes to in and out of the city. So keep that in mind also. Lots of pros. What I would say is very few cons, just a lot of things to love. Education's great. Again, focus on safety. You'll find a lot of Tampa PD live in Wesley Chapel, so gives you some insights on what people like about it. And if you do have any questions about the cities we covered today, because a lot of them are awesome, don't hesitate to reach out to me and the team. Like I said, all my contact information is down below. Happy to jump on a Zoom call and help you through the process. YouTube's gonna put 2 more videos up here that it knows you're going to love. They're definitely gonna be some of the great cities in our area. And as always, until next time, go out and live that Tampa life.